Two Jack Bros. Two Jack Bros.
Yes, we are here. We're back with none other than the Charles Blyzniuk.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, people get mad at me for not introducing the guest.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, it makes sense. They're
Yeah,
right.
it does.
They're not wrong.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
Yes, it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
I do also go kind of like, it's like, who the fuck? It's like an hour in. You're like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah, who like why it's so crazy because it's like, I mean, just enjoy the show.
Yeah, totally.
You know?
So yeah, it's just a guy. There's another person here.
I've never been concerned about who somebody was. I watched shows for years without knowing the names of the people that play the characters.
Right.
It's fair.
Yeah.
A name is important, though. You feel like it's a window. I think you have a very cool name.
Thank you.
It I don't know. It's like it sticks in your head.
Charles
Wow.
Blyzniuk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a comic book character.
It does.
Wow.
It
Thanks.
does.
That's the best like description of what my name sounds like to somebody that I've ever.
Nice.
Thank you. So thank you.
Yeah.
That's great.
What's the worst?
One time this isn't a description of it, but one time I was doing an open mic and the host was like just drunk and I was like one of the last people up. This is like early on in comedy and he looked at the list and he was like, next is Charles, and then he's like he's like, I'm not even gonna try. And, yeah,
That is the worst.
Wow, that's
yeah, that's a tough one.
pretty ridiculous.
Dude, I was on stage and he passed out in the back.
Wow.
He was like fucked up.
Yeah, did you just get up like, so I'm Charles?
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, I don't even, yeah, it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't even want to, it's okay if I'm not identified here, wherever this open mic is.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Charles, I've known you for years, and tonight was the first time that I ever found out that you grew up chunky with amazing snacks in your house.
Yes. That's the truth.
Up until tonight, I thought I could blow your mind with gushers.
I know, yeah, it's like people, yeah, typically are like, I just don't believe that you used to be fat. But
Those pictures must be fun.
yeah, I'm sure I have. I don't think I have any on my phone, but I have them somewhere. I'm sure there's, pictures of me in like high school and early college where I'm quite fat.
Yeah. And like Ansley was asking you before, so it was just like lifestyle changes that you made to
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just I like ran a lot.
Were you funnier when you were fatter?
I don't think so. But I don't think that changed too much. Like the transition was like as I was starting with stand up. So I don't think I even had to I didn't really have too much of a chance to like gauge it.
Yeah.
But just regular real life, I don't.
So here's what I need to know. So like I've been joking around with you for a long time off stage.
Mm-hmm.
You're very physical.
Yes.
You're a very physical riffer.
Yeah.
You get into some ridiculous poses.
Yeah.
Were you doing that when you were fat?
No, I don't think so. I think that just came with like as I was more comfortable with like doing stand up.
Okay.
I don't think I had many like physical. Oh, okay. Early on when I the place I started doing stand up at, like the comedy club at my college, I entered like a contest and I did some like gag where I like had shorts on under my pants and I tried to take my pants off during my set. And I was fat then, so I'm sure that was kind of funny. It bombed, but it was probably funny to watch. I mean, that's probably funnier.
Well, you said tried to take your pants off. You weren't able to get them off.
Well, I because I had my shoes on and shit, so it was like it was a real like tug of war where I was just like stumbling all over myself.
You didn't rehearse this. You just thght you were gonna nail it.
No, I
for
was
the
like,
first
this will probably be like a funny. It's like taking like warm up pants off, and it just did not.
Yeah.
I just got stuck.
Like is that you opened your set? You're like gonna
Yeah.
get on stage and
Yeah.
just take off and then just get to work.
Yeah, I was
You're like, put your hands in chalk.
Yeah, man. That's how I started that contest. Then I did bad at the contest, and then I continued to be the sound guy at that comedy club for a little bit, and then a new manager came in and fired me.
Nice. Are you the guy that clunkily took your pants off?
Yeah.
That is the worst way to start anything. Clunkily taking your pants
No,
off.
man. It was like I couldn't believe it. It was like I know for sure this is like a waste of everyone's time. It was like I've never been more certain that people are annoyed at me.
Man, that is bombing. There's like anytime I bomb, I feel so apologetic
Yeah,
to the people that I am bombing at.
I know.
Because it's like they hate me.
Right? Yeah.
And in the moment they're right. You
Yes.
know?
Yeah.
It's like you're right to hate me. I came up here to make you laugh. I didn't make you laugh, and I know how angering that is.
I know. There are like, do you ever get people who like? Is it always people who are annoyed, or are there people who are just like, nah, just keep going, see if you got any. Like, I'll just keep listening. Did you ever have, I had that one time. I was like in Delaware, and I was like, all right, you guys like hate this. I'm just gonna get on stage. And there's a lady who was like, nah, you just keep going. She just like shouted out. And I was like, are you sure? All right.
Sure, why not? I'm here.
Yeah.
It is. It's the worst kind of bomb. Like when music. Like if you go to hear music and you're like, I just want to dance. I just want this music to make me dance. And they're playing like some polka music that you can't really dance to. You've never heard it before. Like eventually you'll start having fun. You're like whatever, we're here.
Yes.
You know, let's just move like they're moving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But nobody just is like, yeah, like except that lady.
I know. Yeah,
described.
that was like the only time.
Yeah,
I've
nobody's
ever
like, we're
experienced
here.
that.
Let's just enjoy this. Yeah. So, do you often get your bare feet on the ground? I like asking people that question.
Not outside. No. If I'm in a park, I will, but not like it's not that often.
When was the last time you kicked your shoes off at a park?
A few weeks ago.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I like.
It's bold.
I know it is, but I was just like, it was like a nice day out, and I was like, I'll just like sit outside and do something, and then
Yeah, city feet.
I know. Yeah, man. It was only a few minutes where I was like, all right, it's time for me to pack it in. Yeah, I can't.
You never know what's gonna happen in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's wild.
Yeah.
So you know what we do here at this podcast. Basically, what we're doing is we are bringing the funniest people that we know on here and taking them through the process of reaching a higher consciousness / enlightenment.
Oh my God, amazing.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's pretty fun. And then we're basically just learning everything we can from you, watching you go through this grueling process. watching you bare your soul so we don't have to. I'm
great.
answering the questions in my head
Yeah,
while
yeah.
you're like. Yeah, so we just have a good time here. So
Awesome.
when we get started, this is the first question that we ask everybody, which is, what experience or situation have you learned the most information from?
Okay. I think just like probably just like growing up around my parents and stuff. Just like just seeing how they live their life and then
It's
just being like,
oh, that's unique. You grew up around your parents?
I know.
No. So, but what about your parents?
I think I've just seen, how they like behave in certain situations or like how they've treated me or like other people and just been like, do I want to do that differently?
Okay.
Going forward. I mean, like as I'm older and
Yeah.
more like have more like insight into self-reflection and stuff.
So I'll ask you this question.
Yeah.
And I think you'll know exactly what I mean when I ask it, but are your parents bottom of the hill people?
They're not bottom of the hill people, but they just have like, I don't know how to
like middle of the hill people with top of the hill aspirations, but
yes.
they constantly fear they're going to be pulled to the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, and there's also like I think there's also just like I think the community that they were a part of is also like, and probably just as they grew older and like, I think they got more like self-conscious of their position on the hill, to continue using your analogy.
Yeah.
So like, I think just being so obsessed with that can make you do things that are sometimes fucking wacky. I don't know.
Are you from Philly?
I'm from like Ambler, Pennsylvania. So it's
Okay.
like outside of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But I think so my mom is from Jenkintown,
Okay.
and then my dad's from like Northeast Philly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so they grew up hard.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think so. My dad definitely. I don't know. My mom, I think less so.
Yeah.
A little bit less so.
Well, I mean, women tend to be less intentionally hardened
Yeah,
in these
yeah.
areas.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
in the area, like in the Northeast where your dad grew up, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like that area intentionally hardens men.
Yes. Most
You know,
definitely. Yeah.
And okay, so I got you. So you were being raised by a hardened Philly man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You're a sweet, compassionate young man.
Yeah.
Your father is a hardened, a city hardened man.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm imagining you didn't see eye to eye.
No. Definitely not. Dude, I saw him today,
Yeah.
and there's like literally anything but comedy. He's like, just do that.
Yeah.
And dude, we drove by a state trooper today. He's like, why don't you be a state trooper? I was like, what the fuck you talking? I've never shown an interest in.
State trooping.
Yeah.
It's like have you even showed an interest in cars?
Yeah. It's like the hat maybe.
They do got a good hat.
Yeah.
State troopers got a good hat.
Yeah.
Man, if that could just be like a fashionable hat, that could be my hat.
You could walk that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember Pharrell started rocking
Yes.
that hat?
Yeah, he had
It's
that
a good hat.
crazy tall hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't on him. It was like, dude, you're not a state trooper.
No, you
Nah.
knew he wasn't.
That's
no.
true.
Yeah. All right, so the way you grew up, your family kind of just informed you about how to treat people. Like when you think of what made you become this compassionate man we see before us.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think that was probably like, I think it's still like ongoing, but that's probably the most like, this is probably just the biggest one that I can
Yeah.
like am referencing a lot.
Are you constantly like, see, Dad, you can be a sweet man and still not be gay?
If I feel like if I said that, you'd be like, no, you can't.
Who's telling you this shit?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's a good question to start off.
Thanks, man.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So, as we do on Two Jack Brothers, we're basically asking you questions that go up the chakra chain,
Oh my God.
right? So we're
Wow.
starting with the bottom chakra, and
Okay.
we're working our way to the crown chakra.
Okay. Is there like particular properties associated with each chakra?
There are, but this is Two Jack Bros, and we kind of know.
All right, dude.
Yeah.
Bottom's good enough for me.
Yeah, bro. Bro?
Well, it's your grounding chakra.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's your anus.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
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 Starting with the bottom. And it's the colors associated with the chakra are red.
Okay.
Well, is red. I should have just the color. But so it's I mean, if you're curious about, I mean, I assumed you knew about the chakras.
I mean, only just like I have an awareness of them, but not not detail. I know.
He may already be enlightened.
He might
That
be.
was a very enlightened answer.
Yeah. He's got awareness.
I have an awareness of them.
By an awareness of them, I mean I've heard the word. Like it's nothing.
Hell yeah. So our first question that we always ask everybody is, how did you learn to overcome fear?
Oh, I have not. but I think like talking about it is helpful, like with people that I am, like confide in, or just like I journal a lot. I think that's helpful.
How did your dad feel about that?
Dude, he cannot believe it's like him being like, well, it started off like, because I do that now in place of, I had a therapist and then my dad fired. No, I'm just kidding. He fired her. No, she moved away and she was like, you should just write in a journal instead.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, let's try that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just that with like my dad. I'm like, I'll tell him, whatever. And yeah, he's just like, he like can't, like there would be periods of time where he would like ask about it and it's like, he can't, it's like Voldemort. Like he like can't say it.
It's like that thing you write in.
Yeah, dude, it's, yeah.
Are you still with the pen and the your feelings and shit?
So yeah, I mean, I think that's helpful because a lot of my like the stuff that I can be afraid of just is me getting in my own head. So it's like irrational. So I think if I like straighten it out and like talk to somebody or write it down or something, it kind of, I don't know, just like seeing it in front of me in some form.
Okay.
Is helpful.
Were you gonna?
I was just saying, I think I so agree with that. And like
Okay.
with raising kids, I feel like that's something that you use with kids. Like when they're upset or they're fearful of something,
Yeah.
if you can get them to say it out loud,
Absolutely.
it like changes,
Yes.
you know? And it's
Yeah.
a crazy process to watch another human being go through.
Yeah, it's got to be amazing.
It is. For a second, I thought you were going to say, I write down every fucking thing they do. Like, I thought you were going to be journaling about them. But yeah, the speaking things out loud is super important. And we wanted our kids to understand that early and often because we understand how transformative it is in ourselves.
Yeah.
But like she's saying, watching a kid like, you know, like fighting
Yes.
and then finally saying it and it just all melt away.
Amazing. Yeah.
It's mind blowing.
Also to do it as like to make that a habit as a kid is like incredible. I mean, it
Yeah, I
know.
can't.
Took me years.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't remember
it's a couple
anybody
years ago.
telling me that. Like,
Yes,
it's
exactly.
Like, and it's like these things are so simple. Like, what are you people doing?
I know. Yeah.
So I developed it as a kid competing in track, but it's because I loved anime and I was just like voicing my narration. Like,
Oh my God, that's amazing.
yeah. Like it was like I liked calling it out loud. You know,
Yeah.
like so. You know, I'd be in high jump and like I missed the bar 2 times and I need one last jump, and I'd get up there and be like, everybody's down on me. They want to see me fail, but this is where I pull it out.
Dude, that is great.
And I would say it out loud, and I'd clear it and just like stare everybody in the eyes. Dude, I was so weird.
The one bead of sweat. The window pane. Wow, thank God for anime. That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
yeah. Like martial arts movies and animes kind of inspired me to do that.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned how powerful it was. Well, not from doing it, from going through a period of life where I wasn't doing that.
Okay.
It just felt like I was in like a frustrated darkness all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's incredible that you could like note it. Like you just were in touch enough to notice.
Well, no, I just said something out loud one day, and I was like, "Whoa, shit! I feel better already.
Wow.
I haven't been doing this. You know,
Wow.
It was
That's so cool.
yeah. Because after I stopped competing, I didn't really have anywhere to like narrate my anime.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, for real. That makes sense.
Yeah. So why would you say you haven't overcome fear though?
I think there's just still stuff that psychs me out and like stuff that I get afraid of.
To the point of not pursuing them.
No, I don't think it's that bad, but it's like enough to make me maybe like put something off for a little bit or like procrastinate. Or even like it folds in on itself and then I'm like, okay, now I'm afraid to talk about this. You know, it gets to the point where I'll be afraid of something and then I'm like, I don't say anything. You know, like just like try to avoid it.
Yeah.
I think that. I mean,
That does happen. When you do establish the habit of saying something to get it out of you,
yeah.
the negotiating that you start doing is that it's not something you need to speak out loud.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yes.
which is a funny thing. And you're just finding ways to not just say words.
Yeah.
Where if you just said those words, you'd be done. But you're too busy in here. Like, no, I'm not even afraid to jump off that bridge.
I know.
You know what I mean? It's like, I would do it. I just don't want to get my shoes wet. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, if I'm busy. I got stuff to do. I'm
Yeah.
just like sitting. I'm just sitting in my apartment. It's like nothing.
Yeah, but I would say the fact that you're in an ongoing process of dealing with fear in an honest way, I consider that to be an open chakra.
Oh, I think so too. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's good.
Because I don't think there's an absence of fear. So I think if you've learned to, you're not going to defeat it, but you're going to learn to live with it in a certain way.
Yeah, because you have to overcome it every time.
That's I think that's what I mean. I think it's just like I still don't get the best of it every time. You know what I mean? Like it still can get what's the UFC thing we were just on, the under.
This is the submission.
Yeah, the
rear naked-
underhook.
Yeah,
Whatever.
the underhook.
Yeah. It can still get that on me.
Yeah.
we were watching UFC. Yeah, it can still get that on me and choke me.
All right, that feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That feels good. So we're going up the chakra chain. We're going up
Okay.
to the second chakra.
Great.
This is a segment that we call My Bad. And this is where you get to give an apology to any person, place, or thing that could use an apology from you. And this is just to help you get any imbalance out of you and set your energy back to neutral, because you just get this negativity out of you.
Wow. Okay. All right. Apology.
I like this because we're speaking it out loud, right?
Yeah.
We're like
Yeah.
putting into practice what we just discussed.
Which is what mostly this podcast is.
Yeah.
Say your stuff out loud.
Yeah, dude. Really.
All that stuff you're hiding from, say it out loud.
Have you ever done a full episode with somebody in a headlock and telling them? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who to like apologize to. I mean, okay, here's now
It always
let me
starts
start-
out.
yeah.
You always, it's like,
Be-
I don't
because-
know. Wait, okay, let me first say.
I know. Let me figure out where to start. Okay. So we went to a wedding last weekend. We were both in it.
So fun.
Yes, it was very fun.
Shout out Matt McCusker and
Shout out
Brittany
Matt McCusker and Brittany. Congratulations. My mom claims that I didn't tell her about it, but I'm pretty sure I did. And then she was disappointed that I didn't tell her about it. And I was like, no, I told you. But I'm sorry if I actually didn't. Maybe I did forget, but
Yeah.
I know it's a half-assed.
Well, no,
but
I
it's
mean,
the most recent.
Was she saying that because she would have wanted to be your plus one?
No, it wasn't even that. I think it was just like,
She just loves love and needs to know when it's happening.
no, not even that. I think she just she takes a lot of stuff like really personally, where it's just like another person would be like, oh, I didn't know you were going to that, and she's like, oh, I wish you had told me. I feel like I don't know what's going on in your life.
I can relate to that. If my son was in a wedding and didn't tell me about it,
Yeah.
I feel like, why not?
Yeah,
Come on.
fair.
Yeah, I
So-
guess like you're in the wedding. You were part of love, and you didn't even
Yes.
share that with your mom.
Yeah.
No, I think I did, but I mean, again, maybe let's just say I didn't. And sorry.
Man, how does that feel? Because I have a mom that is like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like it turned me into this person that takes the blame for everything.
Oh, totally. Yeah, dude. I relate to that.
Like what? Like
You're like, I've already apologized for everything. I've got nothing.
yeah, is that,
I know.
yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like a lot of I do the thing where if I like need to get somebody's attention at like a restaurant or like a coffee shop or something, hey, sorry, can you just, it's like I'm starting with that.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
just
yeah. I typically end everything. Like when I leave, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. And I'm like, I look and make sure like we're cool, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're all still cool. My bad, guys. I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
That one's tough too.
It's a strange feeling because I conceptually know that nobody's holding anything against me ever,
Right.
or nobody is, offended by my lack of their inclusion in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
But I constantly feel like that's the case.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm always like, my mom was also a little bit of a bully.
Okay.
So I'm constantly worried that I'm like holding people hostage with the fact that I'm willing to flip tables and ruin the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, which is why I know when people come here, they'll answer these fucking questions. Yeah, but so I mean, do you find yourself like if something happens, you pretty much apologize in the moment most of the time?
Yeah, unless there are like instances where I can like, I'll be like arguing with somebody and it's like I'll be pretty stubborn, but that's not that often. Like I have to really be like convinced or just like convicted about a particular point that I'm not doing anything wrong. I just complete, and then maybe,
Do you yell when you argue?
No, not really.
Ansley sounds like Seinfeld.
It's not funny.
It's hilarious.
They all laugh at me every time I get really upset.
Why do I have to keep telling you to pick your stuff up off the floor? We have a spot for it, but you put it on the floor. What's the point of having a spot?
Oh man, that's tough.
Yes, it's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, that is that's a funny like cadence to take on when you're so mad.
I don't know why it happens.
Oh my gosh, that's tough.
It definitely breaks the ice sometimes.
Yeah,
know,
for real.
you're
Yeah,
so
that's
mad.
like it's like built-in like anger management.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. Yeah, I mean, I can raise my voice if I get like really mad, but
Do you say mean things?
no, I try not to. I try not to do any like. No, not really. I just try to like.
Win.
Yeah, just try to stick with my point.
I'm just here for the buckets.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, that's an honest apology, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you are who you are,
Yes.
right? That's a chakra open.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're moving up. Feel good about that,
Great.
right?
Thank you.
So, Charles, how do you manage to move past disappointing yourself?
I think it's like to move past it. I do have to like really believe I'm like, all right, well, the next chance where this same thing is happening, I will do something different. Like it's kind of just like, I guess having faith in myself. I don't know. I mean, it's that. And then also I just like, I have to be like, well, it's done now. I can't, there's no use in beating myself up over it. I just have to like try to learn from it.
Can you recall the time you were most disappointed in yourself?
I don't know the time I was like most disappointed in myself, but I think just like doing stand up, like, frequently, there's times where I'm like pretty disappointed and like, I don't know. I just like, I know that I kind of not phoned it in, but I was like, I definitely could have committed more to just everything I was doing. And like, I knew I was doing that.
Yeah.
I was just being lazy. So like, I'll be disappointed in myself for that because I'm like, I don't know. When the fuck? It's like, it's just a waste. There's a bunch of people there.
Yeah.
And it was like the whole day I had that thing and I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Like, where was I?
Well, let me ask the same question a different way. Maybe it strikes you different. But
Okay.
Do you remember the last time you were most apologetic towards yourself?
Actually, no. I don't. I like, that's the other thing is like, I think apologetic towards myself.
I mean, because that's I would imagine, right? Mm-hmm. Especially from going from someone who was overweight to someone who looks like he has been thin his whole entire life, or someone who kind of like at least gives off that vibe.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? Like as Ansley described, the effortlessly thin. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Which is like, that's just like floating.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. My whole life, I've been a lady who lunches. That's what I look like now.
Yeah. So I mean, there was no in that point of your life or that era of your life, did you not experience any high levels of disappointment?
Yeah, I think I did. I think I was never like, I think when I was overweight, I was never like pleased with how I looked, and I was probably like frequently upset with myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was also like at that point in my life, I just didn't have, or I just wasn't, I didn't know about like, I just didn't know how to like, I guess talk to myself or like, you know, reflect on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I had like the maturity to like confront that I didn't like this thing and that I wanted to do something different. It was just constantly like self like insulting or something, or self like I don't know what's
self-loathing.
Yeah,
Is that
pretty much.
close enough?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my word wasn't big enough.
No, I think
Should've
I think
passed
I'm no, that's perfect. I think I was reaching for something that was just like is like self. I don't know. I can't. I'm blanking on the word.
That he technically just apologized to me. Did you see that? That was a very well. What is the word I'm looking for now? Crafted is disguised. It was a very well disguised apology.
Okay.
You know, it was like because you at no point did you like.
It was like it's not your fault.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for real.
Yeah.
That's.
Well-
I'm okay with the size of my words. I'm comfortable with the size of my words. It's a good size word. Yeah. So now when you handle disappointment, you're just kind of.
I think it's just easier for me to like recognize if I did something wrong and then actually like just say it to myself, like just confront it
Yeah.
rather than just try to avoid it. It's like what you were saying where it's like I'm just like frustrated and I don't know why because I'm not talking to myself.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like that.
Yeah.
But now I'm at least like it's just easier for me to be like, well, yeah, just, you know, I fucked up and then, you know, discuss it like
Yeah.
or talk about it with myself.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. And was your family like that, or was your family
No.
a little? Was it yelly? Were they yelly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, very much so. And I think that's like another like your first question, like the learning experience thing is that's something I just don't see them do, which is like confront an issue outright and then be
What
like, well,
age
do
were
I-
you when you realized your parents weren't quite living the life that you would choose?
I think when I was not so much that I mean, yeah, it's probably just like when I was in high school. I think it was just the stuff that I was like interested in, even, you know, just something like that. It was just, I just didn't feel comfortable like discussing it, and just because, you know.
You use a pencil for it.
Yeah, for real. I know. Yeah.
What were other interests that they weren't like
they
wouldn't be
they
into?
bust open the door to your room and you're like sitting there like listening to classical music.
Yeah, it was shit like
drinking
that.
tea.
Yeah. Dude,
No.
I know.
What the? Not our son.
Yeah.
Not our son.
It's literally, yeah, just every nightmare for my dad. We're just like, I mean, when I was younger, I would draw a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think just once I started like being in school and stuff, I stopped doing that as much.
Yeah.
But I think I always liked drawing, and then when I was in high school, I actually thought about this a couple days ago. When I was in high school, I also had like no idea how to do any of the things that I like wanted to actually do. But there was like a period of time where I was like, I feel like it would be cool to like design clothes. Dude, it's crazy. I know. It's like the gayest thing my dad could know about. And I'm like, let me just shelf this and not even bring it up. Let me just.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. Like
I
your
know.
dad opens up the door to your room. It's like, oh, fuck. fuck.
I mean, yeah, dude. It's just like, yeah, everything you could think of.
It's like, what is it, honey? I went in there and I swear to God, I saw him measuring it inseam.
I know, man. It's like, so yeah, there was that. I think
You do calligraphy ever?
No, I never. I know I've made sure to. I write like this stuff. That would be crazy if I did. Yeah, calligraphy. I mean, I do have like a very like small handwriting, which I must reflect poorly on me.
Let me ask you this question. If I told your dad you do calligraphy, would he be like, oh, of course he does calligraphy?
Yeah, it would probably be something like that, or just like.
Like he wouldn't be shocked. Like he wouldn't be like, nah, my son doesn't do it.
No, yeah, he would.
He'd be like, okay, that's true.
Yeah.
Clearly that's true, but why are you telling me this about my son?
Yeah.
I always kind of knew, I guess.
Do you have any brothers and sisters?
No, it's just me.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're weird?
Yeah.
Oh my God. You're his weird kid. Oh my God. I didn't know you grew up weird. That is so wild, Charles. Oh my God. I didn't know you were an only child.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe I did know, but I didn't know you were weird. That's hilarious.
I know, man. Yeah.
You were his one shot.
Yes. Yeah, man. I know.
Oh, that puts everything in so much different perspective.
Well, it also, yeah, it most definitely, yeah, for sure.
Goodness gracious. That's cool.
Okay. Thank you.
I mean, because like I knew, like you sound like I would have had fun with you. Right?
Yeah.
There were other. I grew up with a friend who was a single child, but like as a friend, he was weird.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And amongst his family, he wasn't.
I see.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Those are the ones you got to like. The single children that are weird to their family are fun to everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. That's a great point.
It is.
Yeah.
Dude, it's rock solid science. Like if an only child is not weird to their parents, they are so weird socially.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
sensitive. They're
Yes.
like, it's just they're hard to be around.
Dude. Yeah. That's.
Man, I'm like thinking through people now.
I know.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, because then it's like they go back and they're normal, and it's like, dude, that's the weirdest. They're so weird.
Yeah.
The whole house is weird.
Yeah. Absolutely. So all this time, I was imagining you going home to this alien environment. You were the alien.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I know. That is really funny. Yeah, you're right.
All right. So, Charles, what have you learned from grief?
That I have to just like I have to live with it until it alleviates. Like I can't really do anything to like get rid of it. I just kind of have to like have it in my life if I'm experiencing it, and then just be like, or hope that eventually it'll change.
Do you speak the grief out loud as well?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I mean, fortunately, I haven't had that in like a couple years. So like, I think previously when I did it, I think I was more open about it. It's also like when there's like shocking like grief experiences, at least for me, it's like this doesn't even feel real. Like talking about it, I'm like, it just doesn't. It's like feels like silly almost or something.
it's weird how disconnected the conversation feels from like what you feel inside about it, and there's like no way to put into words what
Yes.
you're feeling. Like it's just
Yeah. And if you don't, and like, of course you don't have to share. We always give people an opportunity to not, and like I said, I guess more of an opportunity to not share and move on.
the city will allow you to not share
Yeah.
this one. No, like,
Yeah.
But is there a particular grief experience that you think of when that question comes to mind?
Yeah, I think when I was, I mean, you know him, the comedian I was living with. I mean, I can say his name, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tim Ramis. He was
Yeah.
like my roommate, but he passed away like just,
Ah.
overnight one night, and then I was at work and my other roommates, found out. But just that whole experience of like having to be in the house and just like with his family and stuff. There was a lot of stuff that was like very, just like very regular.
Yeah.
It was just like, I guess I'll go get lunch. I don't know. What the
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah. You still gotta eat, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So it was like, it was shit like that, but it was also, just like a shocking.
Well, that's strange. Not strange, but I imagine that being tough because Tim Ramis is a comedian and a good friend, somebody you riff around with, talk about. You see something funny in the course of a day, you talk to him about it. He does the same thing. You're constantly sharing that kind of stuff, and then, like how many laughs do you have before you're comfortably laughing free of that grief?
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess the one thing that was nice where it was like the fact that we were like all doing comedy together, and then there's just like a built-in group of people that knew him and stuff. So it's like, oh, let's just like hang out
Yeah.
like now.
Yeah.
And then it makes it like a little bit better because you're just like around the other
You like
people.
need
where
to
it's
be
like,
around people that are going through it too. Like,
Yeah.
That's very comforting. Like,
and then also like with comedians, it's easier for them
Yeah.
to
I
like
gotcha.
talk about something that's kind of difficult or just confront that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I always like to tell people when Matt was on, he had a thing that he said, about dealing with grief, which is just like, like letting go of something small, and then like just building, just like allowing that to just build up to the point where you can let go of the bigger thing.
wow.
I always,
it's great.
I just like to share that.
No, it's really nice
Yeah.
because it's like, I think that works in other ways too. I mean, it's just the same thing. Like if you just want to like practice something, it's like, well, let me just start here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess it's like any other practice, but it seems like really insurmountable when it's so foreign and like, also just just like it's like scary and fucking, I don't know. It's hard to like get your head around it.
Yeah, there's a strange stillness in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is hard to explain, where it's like, is this what the world is always like? But then we ignore it.
Yeah, right. I know.
Yeah.
You get like shifted right into that dimension of reality.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh fuck, I'm never in reality.
I know. Yeah.
I'm never in reality.
Yeah, for real. It's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild, but yeah.
But I think that's another chakra open.
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Feeling good.
Moving up.
Oh,
Moving all
this
along.
is great.
Yeah. That
Thank
is the heart chakra, by the way.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for alerting me to my heart chakra.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And then, so what is your favorite lie you ever told? Little white lie or otherwise, and you get bonus karma points if you divulge a currently in rotation lie.
Okay. Favorite lie I've ever told.
I like this one because this challenges the
Yeah,
person
this
being
is a-
asked, because you're like, I mean, because everyone is like, I'm a creative person. Of course, I told a good lie.
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah,
I don't,
most definitely.
I don't tell bad lies.
Favorite lie. Dude, this is difficult. Okay, well, I guess there was I lied to the point where I was like, I should try. When I was going into college, I was like, my second major is going to be math. And I was like, in my head, I was like, there's no fucking no way I'm going to be a math major. And then like a semester in to when I was there, I was like, I'll do it. I said it. So, but then like halfway through, like a few classes, like not even the whole semester, I was like, I cannot fucking do this. This shit is so hard. But I think I think there was like something about, I think I just wanted to seem like smarter than I was. So I was like, oh, I'll just be a math major with like, I mean, I was an economics major, so it wasn't out of the realm of possibility that I would do that. But there was something that like, I don't know, just felt like I needed to have that part in there.
Wait, so are you saying you dropped the math major yet continued to tell people you were a math major?
Yeah. Yeah. Not for like that much longer. I mean, it was like a semester, but it was still enough to be like, I was like, I'm not here anymore. Like, you know what I mean?
Like anyone was overly impressed. They were like, I wasn't really sure about this.
No, yeah, the other,
a math major. So.
Yeah, the other thing is people were just like, oh, okay. Yeah. It was like nothing.
You were just, okay. Whew. All right. No more follow-up questions, please. Yeah, that's wild. No pickles from those lies? From that lie?
No, I mean, I think the only difficult ones were like just like talking to a professor, like eventually at the end of just being like, hey, I'm gonna drop this class.
Yeah.
And I think that wasn't necessarily a pickle, but it was like, I think that was an instance where I actually had to be like, I'm not supposed to be here. So like, you know,
like,
I had
but I
to,
thought you were a math major.
like, dude,
Word on the street is you're a math
yeah. Yeah, man, it was just like, you know, I can't even understand what you're doing up there when I'm in class.
Yeah, there's a point in math classes you're like, it gets beyond you and you're just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
This is more than my brain can compute.
Right. And there were also like kids in the class who were just like genius, like they just fucked off on their computer and you know, they did whatever they wanted and they just had to like show up.
I remember for me it was at some point during Calc 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like at first it started and I was like, all right, we're continuing Calc 1. Love it. I'm good at this.
Yeah.
And then one day it was just like, huh? Wait, what?
I know.
Wait, what, huh? And it was just lost forever in math.
Yeah.
It was I was never able to catch back up. Like that one dude, there was just one day. It was what was it? The change of rate equations.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys remember that? You remember that? It was like so if you were like to calculate the speed at which sand falls through an hourglass.
Yeah.
And you get all the dimensions of the hourglass plus the weights of the sand, and you have to like put those equations together. You have to find like the common. Dude, I was hot.
I think when they started showing up with the double F and like
yeah,
I was like, wait, this is too many symbols in this, and I have to memorize what that like means.
I think this was the precursor to double F.
Oh yeah.
It was like now that you guys understand that.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't. I don't understand that.
Yeah. Dude, I remember one time there was a class that I like, there's like a math class that I couldn't get out of.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess I just have to finish the semester with and do it. And I remember our final is like, you guys have like, you know, a couple hours. And it was a 2-question test. And I was like, I am ruined. 2 questions? I was like,
it's not gonna happen.
He's expecting these to take so long, and it's a page.
Yeah.
Listen, I've taken enough math to know that I'm going to mathematically fail this test. It's just not enough questions, man. I can't get enough partial credit to pass this test. Yeah, that's wild.
It was just like, it was like some strange insecurity. I think, I mean, even, it was also like, there was like, this is another like thing with my dad where he was like, you're gonna like study this, like you can be a math major and stuff. Like he would like say that to the point where I was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna do that. It's just So I think that's what like started it, and then I just wasn't able to.
How did you feel about you having an economics degree, which, as we all know, is gay math? It is, right? It's like it was a little bit of an academic, like a little bit esoteric joke, I think.
Yeah.
So funny.
But it's because I have an economics degree.
Yeah, right.
And I tried some math shit.
I know,
Yeah.
man. Yeah,
No.
I mean, I think
That's cool. I mean, economics is cool.
yeah, it's cool.
You
I
can
liked
convince
it.
a dad like that economics is cool.
Yeah, I thought that was like I liked it. So
Yeah.
it wasn't the storied English degree that spooks fathers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. It's just like, I kind of was like that when I went to college. Like I first majored in engineering and then economics. I would have majored in something like English or something, but it was like, I guess I'll give my family something.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
Yeah, totally.
It's can't fight them on every,
I know.
All right, so that's a good lie.
Thank
By the way, when you were telling everybody that you were an economics math double major, were you wearing tweed? Were you a blazer guy at that point?
No, man. I'm not there yet. I haven't. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe I will eventually. Blazer,
Yeah.
but no, I wasn't. I was. I think I was just normal.
No, you weren't. What the
I'm
fuck
not
were you?
normal, but
What-
like
when you were telling
He
people,
had,
okay,
he had a pipe. He
Yeah.
had a glass, like
it was never.
one,
Yeah,
what's it? One eye thing called
monocle.
Yeah,
he had a monocle. Not even that. He had a jeweler's loop.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you have to come home and tell your dad that you dropped math and you weren't going to be a math major?
I'm sure I did, but I feel like there wasn't much fanfare with that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless
he's just now finding out from this podcast.
Yeah, that'd be so funny if he was like, that's yeah. I think that was like, I mean, I'm sure there was. He didn't raise hell.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there was like some disappointment or something.
Okay.
It's a good lie. I like that. Telling
Thanks.
people you're a math major at a college
Yeah, dude.
that you all go to.
Yeah. Haven't seen you in any math classes.
I know.
Yeah. That's fun. It's all right. So those are kind of like the lower level chakras that we open. Now we're getting up into the more cerebral / existential of the chakras.
Okay.
Right? So this is so we're talking about some third eye shit here. So
Wow.
this question
All right.
might sound a little complicated, but it's not. We just
Okay.
hear it all the way through.
Okay.
Like, so something that you things that you thought were separate, but you're realizing now are one and the same. And it's just like whatever when that makes sense to you in your mind, whatever comes to you is what we want.
Didn't we? We're like, oh, this is the perfect example for this question.
That was for the Patreon question.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
By the way,
gotcha.
check out our Patreon. I forgot. I
Yeah,
always
go to the
forget to do
Patreon.
that.
Yeah. Look at that.
Shoot, Two Jack Bros. Damn it, Two Jack Bros. There's the camera. Two Jack Bros. Patreon. Check us out. This is above. The Patreon is below. We even everything out. As above is below. It's fun.
Wow.
Yeah, you're gonna have a good time.
Oh my god. This is awesome. Connect or like one thing.
Yeah, like a rudimentary example is like people, especially through this political climate, we're starting to realize that extreme Democrats and extreme Republicans were kind of like two sides of the same coin.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah.
I guess that's what we're looking at, like two sides of the same coin.
Okay. I feel like it's probably something with I'm just thinking like it's probably something with like some sort of creative thing that I do. I think I always felt like I had to like relearn everything in order to like maybe if I wanted to write something different other than stand up or even like I don't know, like draw again, but I think it kind of comes from the same well. where I'm like, there is like technical stuff that is learning, but like I think there's like it's almost like a confidence that I have to like do it is coming from the same place, and it's like integrated in the sense that just in terms of like creativity, where it's like I might keep them separate in my mind, or like might not do a thing because I'm like in my head, like, but I am a stand-up comic, like I can't do that, it's like, well, there's similar, I don't know, similar to each.
So that's actually a bigger answer than the question itself, right? Because I was asking for two things, but you're like this, like you're seeing that all of your varied creative interests all just fall under creativity, whereas before you would be like, well, this is my creativity for catamaran, and this is my creativity, for,
or something like that. Where I think it's just like, I think it came from just having more like belief. Like if I like this, I can just try. Like I just try the thing again. It's like
it feels like you're stumbling upon the way.
I hope so.
Yeah,
that'd be great if I if I happen to find it.
I mean that's what like the way of the samurai, or the way.
Yeah,
Are you familiar with the way?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the way.
Right. Whereas like the way to do things is like it. Basically, you're finding out that you are like, because I understand what you're saying. So let me back up for a second. So we know a lot of comedians. We're comedians, right? We know a lot of comedians now. Podcasting is starting to take off, and people are like, well, I can't really do. I'm more of a stand-up guy. I can't really do podcasting, and they feel like they have to learn like a whole new form of comedy.
Yeah,
but it's not. It's still comedy talking out of your mouth.
Yes.
Yeah,
totally.
Right.
Yeah, and I think it's like there's also like an art of learning, right? So like you learn, that's like people that master one craft can pick up something else and usually pick it up faster than like somebody who's never mastered somebody, because you like understand what it takes and the attention to detail and like all the other things besides, like all the practice that goes into something.
Yeah.
And so like you can pick up other things and learn them quicker because you know what it's going to take.
Yeah, you said mastered somebody. I know it was a Freudian slip, but your colonialism came out for a second.
What was I trying to say?
You mastered something.
Something.
Oh.
Yeah.
I completely missed it, but that's my oppressive ancestors.
So we didn't know.
I caught it. Struck a little bit of a nerve with me. No, she's not like that, guys. She's not like that.
It's just a combat sport reference. Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
To master another body.
Yeah? You just made that up. You don't master bodies in martial arts.
I do.
They're mastering bodies.
Yes.
All right, but that's another good answer, by the way. Third eye open over here.
Yeah.
Right?
Thank you.
And this is the final question of the podcast.
Okay.
This is what are you looking for? This is the crown chakra. This is the top of the head.
Oh.
This is gonna have your eyes glowing.
Dude, yeah. This is all right. So 2-part question, 3-part question technically. One thing you can't give up and why. That's technically one question. I know it's 2. And the second part is what would giving it up mean? Okay. One thing I can't give up. I mean, I think we're just gonna probably just like writing of some sort, writing something like, I mean, be it stand up or whatever else. I just feel like even when I am like not trying to do it, there's like, I'll find my way to just like writing something down, and making something out of that. So,
what's your origin comedian story? Like
when did I start?
Yeah, and like what drew you to it and why, like
how
did you find
Well, I
yourself
think good question. I think I wanted to be like a comedy writer before I even like started stand up, or just like, liked all, like comedies on TV and stuff. And then when I was in college, it was like a couple things. So I like a guy that I was like friendly with, like did stand up, and he was like, "Oh, you should try it if you want to be a writer." I was like, "Well, maybe." And then I didn't do it. And then because I went to school in California, I got like free tickets to Conan, to just like a taping of Conan. And I think just like seeing that it's like a set and there's like a bunch of people behind, like just like working on the show, I'm like, oh, that's a job you can do.
Yeah.
So I think it was like that just, rang a bell somewhere about being able to just go do it. But then also like, the guy in my college who was like, oh, just try it. I don't know. I think that it just helped. It was like, yeah, it made it like so. It did make it a lot easier because I'd like wanted to go try stand up before, but I just didn't know anyone. I was like, I guess I'll just go to like a comedy club at night.
Yeah.
And then I can do it. But yeah, it was just easier having a person who was like friendly and like, it's not that big of a deal.
And then once you went, you're just like, you're hooked. You're like,
yeah, I think, yeah, like the first time, because I would like go to, there was like a club, kind of like a, like a organized, like 4 or 5 people who like did stand up at like, there were like 5 colleges around me, and they would have stuff every week, but then every month they would also have shows, and I would like go to those, and I was like, oh, these people are really funny. One of them was Pedro.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Just another comic I like kind of started with, but yeah, I think just like seeing that was also just a nice thing that, I don't know, they weren't like, they didn't make it difficult to like hang out with them or go to see their show or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
What you fit in like you did at your family.
Yeah. It made it like, yeah, they were at least they weren't exclusive in the sense that like some clubs can be. So
yeah,
it just made it easier to be like, I'm interested in this, and these people are cool.
Yeah. So what do you feel like your world looks like if you give up writing?
I think
Do improv.
Yeah.
Ew.
I know, yeah, dude. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'd try to do some other like creative thing, like that would channel the whatever I would be writing, I could just like make into something else. I think I would just look for another thing to make if it's not writing, I mean, whatever that is, I don't know.
Okay.
Make I don't know.
Yeah.
I think yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's a boring, like, I think I'd just try to find something else to.
It's a tough question too. It's like, wait, I can't write grocery lists. Like,
I know. Well, that's the other
to
thing.
what extent is writing?
That's actually, that's a great point, because
he was like, I'll do it anyway. Right.
Yeah.
Let's say I couldn't, and then it would be like, well, there would be a lot I would have to like relearn. There'd be like probably a long adjustment period of me
to draw pictures of eggs. And
yeah, exactly. I think there would be like, it would be pretty difficult for a while, just being like, I have to. Yeah, just draw stuff to feel like I'm properly expressing.
Like Egyptian hieroglyphics.
Yeah.
And your dad shows up, looks over your shoulder, and like, what the fuck are you doing? This is your grocery list? Oh, man. Man, I'm so happy to know that you grew up weird.
I'm glad. Yeah.
Did you know that I grew up weird?
Maybe a little.
To
yeah. Maybe a
say
little,
it.
but yeah. That's so funny.
I think
like there's a whole family of you. That's more creepy to think about.
That's me. Whatever. I I could listen. I could be. I mean, yeah. I was just considered like my actions are considered just so out there by my family.
Yeah, I get
and
that.
It always has been that way.
Okay.
Like ever since I was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you would say to my mom, "Hey, why does your son always speak with a British accent?" She'd be like, "Huh, I guess he does always speak with a British accent." She wouldn't even be like, "My son doesn't have a British accent."
Damn.
She'd be like, "Huh, I guess I don't know why he's just like that."
That's so funny.
Yeah.
When I was talking to your stepmom today, we were talking about Finn. Got to the point where, like, he's got that gene, that like Sydney has and his brother has. It's like that gene. Finn's got it too. It's like we don't know how to explain it. It's just different.
That's so funny.
Wait, which brother? Darius?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got it.
He's got it.
He's got it. Fucking got it. Yeah, he's got a strong case of weird. Yeah. That's yes, how do you feel? Do you feel enlightened?
Yeah. I think talking about this stuff, it's like they're intense topics.
Yeah.
But talking about them,
You feel the energy flow up.
it does feel I should uncross my legs so it's not
Yeah.
so nothing
loose,
is
let the butthole loose.
yeah everything
That
needs to
butthole
be yeah
Yeah.
this feels better. I just start telling them like more lies. Actually, you have another hour.
Well, actually, we do have a Patreon coming up. Will you have time to stick around for the Patreon?
Yeah, I can do that. Sure.
All right,
absolutely.
cool. And how do you feel? Do you feel enlightened? Do you feel like this is a...
I feel good. I feel like I've siphoned off some good energy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
That was
great.
fun. It was. This is our first weirdo. Right? Like, this is like, I mean...
Self-admittedly.
Well, no, family admittedly. Family designated weirdo. Yeah, that's cool, man. That's
Wow.
yeah. Where this is like it's every episode is just so vastly different. Even
It's
though the
awesome.
questions are exactly the same,
Yeah.
it's like every episode is so ridiculously different. I love this. I love doing it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, really good questions. Like,
Thanks.
really, really like great. Like, and it's also it leaves a lot of room for.
Yeah. And it's like, so the whole point of this podcast is to prove that you can maintain an inappropriate sense of humor and still reach a higher consciousness. Like,
That's
you don't-
amazing.
Right? You don't have
I love
to
it.
change who you are, and like what you fundamentally find funny to
Mm-hmm.
become enlightened, right? Is what I believe.
Yeah.
I'm not enlightened, so I don't know.
Right.
I mean, who you're taking my word for it, but you know.
I'd rather that than whatever enlightened is. If I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
right?
I mean
Yeah.
if it ends up not being that.
Yeah, no, I'd rather
But
just laugh.
I don't think it. I think you're right. I think
much
you're.
rather
Yeah.
laugh. Yeah. So we're gonna hop over into the Patreon, and thank you so much for being with us for this episode.
Absolutely. Thank
Hanging
you
out
for
with
having
Charles
me.
Blyzniuk. Charles, do you have anything you want to plug or promote?
Yeah, I mean, I just follow me on Instagram at the Blizzard TheBlyzard. I don't post that much, but there's like a link to I have like a Patreon, and then I'll have like another free thing of just like stuff I've written,
Oh hell yeah!
Nice.
just like stories and all that stuff.
Hell yeah! So check out Charles's Patreon
Thanks.
for sure, and we'll put links to everything in the description. Of course, check out Two Jack Bros Patreon. $1 gets you all of our exclusive
Oh my God,
content.
$1.
That's
what
it.
do you do? Like,
That's
yes, of course, subscribe.
Right? We just want people in there.
Yeah,
Just come on in there, have a good time, right? And we're almost at 100.
it's great.
We're under 100.
Okay.
Once we get to 100, we'll start displaying the number, and then we'll really start building this community hard,
Okay.
right?
I like that.
Let's get
100.
to 100,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's on.
Nice.
It's fucking on.
I love this.
All right, so we're gonna hop over into the Patreon now. Again, a whole different set of questions, kind of the opposite flow. you got to check it out because we can't just become enlightened in one direction. Everybody says, yeah, we're just going to enlighten the light side of us. No, we got to enlighten
I'm excited
the dark
for this.
side of
I've
us
been
too.
I've been reading about shadow self. I'm excited to.
Hell yes. Hell yes. So come with us as we enlighten Charles Blyzniuk's shadow self on the Patreon.
Yes.
She got you.